Okay, don't look at how many tabs I have open. Don't think about how angry my computer is as a result. Just focus on this one, which has been open for a long time. It is an article that came out in a sci-fi magazine called Uncanny, and the article is so good. I keep referring back to it, right? Obviously, I have all these open tabs because I keep referencing them or I want to make videos about them. This is an article called Resistance 101. It's by author Sam J. Miller. And it's super good. Super good. I think about it a lot. It came out not long after the election. The beginning says, this is really happening. The bullies won and the bullying will commence. And it will be rough. No one is going to save us. We have to save ourselves. Right? That's been my mantra since the beginning. Nobody's coming to save us. Congress is not going to save us. The judicial branch is not going to save us. We have to save ourselves. Those other things, they can be tools that we can leverage a little bit, but it's the people. It's the people who are going to stop this because power resides with us. We are going to get the job done. So when I saw this article a while back, I was like, oh yeah, this person and I, right? We're like simpatico. So first of all, I encourage you to go read the entire thing. Great article. So Sam offers lots of really good practical tips for protests, right? Have a water bottle, have your sunscreen, make sure that you have cash on hand, small bills, document, be realistic about what your protest is going to accomplish, right? All of these really good points. Farther down in his list of suggestions, he says, chant. Yelling in public feels weird, especially if you're an introvert, but it's empowering and makes onlookers take it more seriously. I've noticed that. I don't know if it's just because Portland's really white, but at a lot of our protests, there's periods where there's like silence. I've been thinking about getting a bullhorn when I'm not on the safety team and leading people in chants because it's important. It keeps that energy going, also singing as well. And it's a way to keep everybody engaged and to build solidarity. We're all in this together. We're chanting or singing in unison. When we're talking about maybe being a little bit uncomfortable at a protest and stretching ourselves, trying new things, being adaptive, Sam goes on to say creativity matters. Sidewalk marches and press conferences only do so much. Messaging, props, and locale should be edgy and fun and fresh. Go where they don't expect you. When a politician was blocking a bill we wanted, we didn't just protest outside his office. We went to his house and we talked to his neighbors. We went to a restaurant where he was having a party for campaign donors and all his rich friends got an earful. And when another politician was waffling on a campaign promise she made, we went to her office with a whole bunch of frozen waffles and giant cardboard ones and journalists as well. Right, so the way that Sam understands that so much about effective resistance is a PR game. It's a publicity stunt. That performative actions are really important because we're trying to persuade the public. We're trying to be innovative, creative. We're trying to catch people's attention and inform them through that kind of eye-catchy, edgy messaging. And then also we're trying to bring them into the movement and get them activated and contributing. Because this is a numbers game, right? Who's going to save us? We're going to save ourselves. It requires all of us working together, regular, ordinary people. We need all our neighbors coming in and joining the party. So when Sam talks about being edgy, fun, and fresh with your protesting, I know a lot of people on the political left think that protesting has to be miserable. We have to be suffering for our activism. We definitely can't have any joy in our resistance. We definitely can't enjoy each other's company or apply our own creative brains and our own artistic sense to what's happening. No, it's gotta be suffering, right? I think that's a lot of that's a lot of religious baggage that people are bringing to play. I would ask how much of that is kind of I don't want to say your Catholic baggage or your Reformed Calvinist baggage. But if you think that protests can't be fun, they can't be accessible, they can't be enjoyable, and that we can't take joy in the moment, in the work that we're doing, I really ask you to sit with that for a little bit and evaluate why is it that you think that protests have to be a slog, they have to be burdensome, they have to be a place where we suffer in order for them to be successful. That's just not true. And in keeping with that, when I read this section from Sam, I'm reminded of a chapter in Blueprint for Revolution, one of my favorite books, if you are familiar with my content. This is by Sergej Popovic. It is talking about the Otpor Revolution in Serbia that toppled Slobodan Milosevic through almost entirely nonviolent means. Remember, destruction of property is not violence, self-defense is not violence. So the subtitle of this book is How to Use Rice Pudding, Lego Men, and Other Nonviolent Techniques to Galvanize Communities, Overthrow Dictators, or Simply Change the World. And I want to read a section that really illustrates the point that Sam was making in his article. I want you to take a moment and play one of my favorite games with me. It's called Pretend Police. It's fun. Here goes. Pretend you're the police in Ankara, Turkey. A few days ago, security guards in one of the busiest subway stations in town spotted a couple making out on the platform. Strict Muslims, the guards were bugged by such immodest behavior in public. So they did the only thing they really could do, which was get on the subway's PA system and ask all passengers to behave themselves and stop kissing each other. Because everyone in Ankara had smartphones, this little incident was leaked to the press within minutes. By the afternoon, politicians opposed to the ruling Islamist-based party realized that they had gold on their hands and started encouraging their supporters to stage huge demonstrations to protest this silly anti-smooching bias. This is where remember, you're a pretend police, you're a police officer in this game, you come in. On Saturday, the day of the demonstration, you show up in your uniform, your baton in hand, ready to keep the peace. Walking into the subway station, you see more than 100 young men and women chanting anti-government slogans and provoking your colleagues. Someone shoves someone loses their cool. Soon, it's a full-blown riot. If you're seriously playing along, it's probably not hard to figure out what you do. After all, you're a police officer, and you've probably spent a whole week at the academy training for situations just like this. It's what police all over the world do. You move in, you get in formation, you put on your riot gear, and you start to thump your baton into your shield to intimidate the crowd. You probably don't feel too bad about it either because you're only doing your job. Besides, you're just protecting yourself and your fellow cops from flying stones or whatever else the people decide that they're going to throw your way. You move in. It takes an hour, maybe two, before 30 or 40 of the protesters are in jail, 10 or 20 of them are in the hospital, and the rest have run away. You return to the precinct house, you drink a coffee with your buddies, you go to bed feeling content at a good day's work. That was easy. Now let's play the game again. It's Saturday morning. You arrive at the subway station. There are more than 100 people there protesting against this censorious announcement from the day before. But they're not saying anything against the government. They're not shouting or chanting. They're kissing each other loudly, making these gross slurpy sounds that nobody likes, drooling and giggling. There are almost no signs to be seen at all, and the ones you do notice have little pink hearts on them and read "Kiss Me" or "Free Hugs." Women are in short-sleeved, low-cut blouses. The men have their button-downs on. No one seems to notice you because they're too busy holding each other's heads as they suck face. What do you do now? Go ahead and game it out if you'd like, but let me say, you have the trouble. The answer is that there's nothing you can do. It's not only that the amorous demonstrators aren't breaking any laws, it's also their attitude that makes a world of difference. If you're a cop, you spend a lot of time thinking about how to deal with people who are violent, but nothing in your training prepares you for dealing with people who are funny. This is the genius of Laughtivism. I know, the name is stupid. My friends who are native English speakers tell me so all the time, but the principle is solid, and like many things I stumble upon, it's completely by mistake. Laughtivism was kind of the core of the Outpour movement, a youth-driven movement that toppled Slobodan Milosevic and instituted a stable government in Serbia. I know that Serbia is having some struggles again right now. All over the world, we are watching democracy decline, authoritarians rise, and we have to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters all over the world. This is not just a struggle here in the United States. This is a struggle that is happening everywhere. We've all got to be in solidarity with each other, sharing tactics and strategies, goodwill, and support with each other. And I really want to encourage you, if you're in the US or wherever you may be with your organizing group, how can you employ this technique of Laughtivism? How can you go for the kind of unexpected strategy that really disrupts the system? Not only do these kinds of events get tons of PR, right? The press loves to cover this stuff, loads of public attention. It highlights, it's like the tactical frivolity at the ICE facility here in Portland. It highlights how totally non-violent and non-threatening the protesters are. And any good nonviolent direct action needs to be disruptive. It needs to have a message that is communicated, and it also needs to disrupt the system in some way. And so, gosh, we don't have to be violent to disrupt it. In fact, as Sergio was talking about here, the cops expect us to be violent. Like, us being violent doesn't actually really disrupt the system. That's what they plan for. That's what they train for. That's what they know how to combat. It's the non-violent techniques that are actually disruptive, not the just peaceful, like Kristi Noem says, go stand in your little cordoned off area and wave a sign. No, disruptive, non-violent direct action, employing kind of adaptive and creative techniques like Laughtivism. That is what successfully helps draw public attention, bring people into the movement, and advance our cause. So how can your group employ Laughtivism? What would that look like where you are?